Hello friends, this is tutorial number 59 in these C++ programming language tutorials. In this tutorial we will create one simulation of 100 meters race. Okay, we already did it in Java, and also we will do that application using C++. And we will have a class of runner which will have three fields: name of the runner, jersey of the runner, and it will have a vector of meters. It will be a vector of 100 double numbers, and the sum each runner will have that vector of numbers, and the sum of these numbers will give us the race time of the runner, of course, and we will see who is the fastest and he will win the race. Okay, first let's create a new class runner without destructor. Let's create it. We will include that class in our project. Okay, here is a class of runner, and now let's include IOStream and standard namespace. We will copy it and we will paste it here in the runner CPP. And we will include this namespace standard here in the class of runner. Okay, we will not have, but just a second, and we need to include class runner here in the main. Okay, and now let's create a field. We will not have protected field. Let's create private field. We will have a string which will be the name. We will have jersey, which will be integer, and we will have a vector, but first we will include string, and also we need to include vector. It will be a vector of double numbers. Let's create a vector of double, and we will call it meters. And now we will need a public functions. And let's create a constructor. It will have string, we will call it A, this name, and we will have integer, we will call it B, and vector of double, we will call it C, ABC. A is string, B is an integer, and C is a vector of double numbers. And also we need to create public functions. First let's create string, and it will be get name, and it will be just get name, integer, get jersey, and and we will need a double function, and it will be getTime. It will not be a vector, it will be a double. And here in the runner CPP, let's define the constructor. We will copy just this string A, integer B. Let's copy this and let's paste it here. And now let's define. Name will be equals to A. Jersey will be equals to B, and meters, which is a vector of a double numbers, will be equals to C. Okay, with this we defined our constructor. Now we need to define functions that we created, but also we will include here. We will include a string and we will include a vector. And let's define. First we have a getName function, string of runner, getName, and inside we will have we need to return name. And also now we will have integer of runner, and we need to define getJersey function. We will just return Jersey. And now we will need to define, we have a double runner, and now we need a getTime, and let me see, getTime, I will write it manually. I will just copy and paste getTime. Let's define it. But what we will return? First, we will need a couple of local variables. Let's create integer x will be equals to 0, and we need to create. We need a double variable. We can call it just a second, double. It can be a sum, or it will be a time, but I will call it time. And will be also equals to 0. Now what we want to do? We want to do next thing. We want to iterate over this vector of a double number of meters. And how we gonna do that? While we'll use while loop. While x is lesser than meters dot size, we will redefine a time. Time will be equals. Okay, time will be the sum of all of these numbers inside the vector. Will be equals to time plus meters of element x. And we need to increment x, and at the end we need to return a double, and we will return time. And this is our getTime function. This the time of the race of the runner. We will know it. It will be the sum of these numbers inside the vector, but it will be a vector of 100 double numbers from 0.01 until 0.2. Okay, we define all of these public functions, and now, okay, this is good. And now we will go to our main function. First thing that we need to do, we already learned how to generate random numbers. It will be this vector, this vector double of meters. It will be a vector of 100 random numbers from 0.01 until 0.2. And now what we need to do, we need to create first, let's include also here, let's include, we will need string, and we need to include a vector. And we need some static elements. Let's create a static vector of our object runner, and we can call it, I will call it racers, because these runners will participate in the race. It will be a static vector. And we also can create, just a second, empty 1993.7 to create, we can create a random generator. We will call it a random generator. And we also need to include, this means that we need to include random, and we need to include ctime library. And here we need a random generator, and we will write time 0. Okay, this will be a static random generator. And now we need to create a function to create couple of racers. And we will have, okay, eight runners should be enough. Let's create a void function. Create racers. Okay, we will have some local variables. Integer x will be equals to 0, and let's create a local variable string name. This will be just one local variable. And let's create while loop. But okay, we will wait with this with this x, maybe even if we don't need it, but we can now use while or do while loop, but let's use while. But we will not do it with this x. What we will do? While racers dot size is lesser than, will be lesser than, and now it depends how many racers we want. We want 8 racers lesser than 8. Of course we can use do while loop also. What we will gonna do? Let's start, and now we will need inside what we will write. First let's use C out. We will use racers. We need to write, we need to input some data of the racers, but first we will write racers dot size, but it will be racers dot size. In the first it's 0, of course, and we need to write racers dot size plus 1, and we will write slash, and okay, it will be number 8 because we will have 8 racers. And now we can write enter runners name and we need to input name, but it will have first name and last name. Now we can use just as input, we can use this name, but it is not a good solution. I can just if we entering the name, okay, but we will left it as it is, or I can comment it. It is better to use get line, and inside what we will write, we will use scene input and the variable name. Now what will be the difference? Okay, in the both of cases we need to input a string, but if we just use this scene name, when we enter the first name and we type a space, we will type, for example, Usain Bolt. We will type Usain and space and Bolt. What we will get? It will be a separate. It will be just first element will be Usain, but Bolt will be second element, and we don't want it. I will show you this later. For now I will just comment this. Okay, and we will input with this get line, we will input a name. And now we need to define we need a local variable jersey. And how we will define? First let's use this random generator, but let's use uniform int distribution. We will need an integer number, and let's call it. It will be get get number, it can be get number, and it will be from 1 to 100. We just want that to be one integer number. Jersey will be a number from 1 to 100. It will be enough. And let's create integer Jersey. It will be a local variable. It will be equals to get number, and inside will be a random generator. Okay, these brackets we don't need. We just need one bracket. Okay, and this will be a number from 1 to 100. And now we will create. We need to create one more. We will create one vector of a double numbers. And we will call it numbers. This is just one local vector, and now we want this vector. We want to put 100 random double numbers from 0.01 until 0.2 inside this vector. And how we gonna do it? We will just create one more while loop. We will write while, and again we will not use this x. We will just use while numbers dot size is lesser than. Okay, we will need 100 numbers lesser than 100. What we will gonna do? Now we need to create a double random number. Let's create now a uniform real distribution. We need a double number. And how we gonna call it? Okay, get we have a get number, get double number will be the name of the function, and it will be from 0.01 until 0.2. This will be the name of this random get double number function. It will be a distribution of the real numbers between 0.01 until 0.2 in that range. And now let's create a local variable double. We will call it, okay, we can call it random. Okay, random number will be equals to get double number, and inside will be a random generator. This random generator is static, and this will be it. This will create 100, but it's not. But yes, it will be. Now what we need to do, we need to just to use numbers. We need to, before this vector of numbers, we forgot to we need to push back. We need to push back this random number, and this means it will push back each number that will be created will push into this vector of numbers, and when we have 100 numbers, this loop will stop. Okay, we don't need to increment, because we will push back. It will be while numbers or size is lesser than 100, but each created random number will be pushed into this vector of numbers. Okay, this is good. And now what can we do? All of these are local variables. This name, this jersey, and this vector of numbers is just a local. Currently, it is just local variables. It has nothing to do with this class. But now what can we do? Now we can create, but after this while loop is finished. But we are inside this principal while loop. But when this another while loop is finished, we can create a runner. And we'll call it R. And we need to define it. Okay, as you can see, just a second. We need to define it. We need a string. We'll define it with a name. And okay, as you can see, we need a string A, integer B, and vector. As this string, we will use this local variable name. As an integer, we will use this jersey integer that we created. And as a vector, we will use this vector of numbers that we created, and this will be our runner. Our runner will be created. And now, what we will do? Now that we created this runner, we can add this push back this runner to this static vector of racers. And let's do it. We will just do racers. We will just push back. We will push back this runner R. Okay, and that means while this while we don't have a size of this static vector is lesser than 8, we will create this random this loop will run. Okay, and this will be I think this loop is this function is complete, and this6 we didn't use it. Okay, and we don't need it because in the while loop we didn't use x. We will use we used size of these vectors. And what can we do now? But this will just create us racers. What we need to do now is to create some display method. And now let's create a void display. And now we can use integer x equals to 0. And what we will write? Now we will use while x is lesser than we have this static vector of racers dot size. Let's write some text. It will be cout, and we will write runner and we can use one hashtag, and we can write number of jersey of that runner. We can write racers of element x dot we can use get jersey, and we will write, now we can write comma, and it will be enough. We will just use semicolon, because it will be written in the same line. And now we can continue. Now we can write name of the racer, racers of element x dot get name. And now we can use comma again, and we can write has run 100 meters in. Okay, it will be enough. And now we can write cout, and we need a time, and it will be racers of element x dot get time. And we can write seconds. And we can use now end line. It will be runner, for example, runner 50, and the name of the runner, for example, Usain Bolt, has run 100 meters in, for example, time will be 10.5 seconds. And we can forget to increment this x, and this is a display method. And also, just let me check here where we define a function. Okay, we didn't forget to increment this x, and okay, we can test it now. But before we can just test complete application. But first, let me call these two methods in the main. Let's use create. First, we need to create racers and to display racers. And we need just one more thing. We need a method. We want to know the winner of the race, and let's create void winner. And we will need some local variables. First, we need integer. It will be x will be equals to 0. We need a double minimum, which will be also equals to 0. And now let's iterate over this while x is lesser than x will be lesser than racers dot size. What we will gonna write. And we also what can we do here? We can also create one racer. We can create a racer. No racer, it will be runner. We can call it R. It can be winner. Runner R, or we can call it. It can be runner R. Will be, or it can be, I don't know. It can be winner. equals, which will be, it will be erasers. We can by default put it front, for example, but we will change it later. Okay, maybe we will not need, but I want just to iterate over this vector. First, let's write if minimum, but we need two opening and close it bracket. If minimum equals to 0, or minimum is greater than erasers of element x dot get time, minimum will be equals to erasers of element x dot get time, and winner will be equals to erasers of element x, and it will be, this will be defined. We define this minimum, and we define this winner, and now we can just here x plus plus, we need to increment x, and when this here, when this while loop is finished, and we can write a statement cout, we can use a slash, here is the winner, and let's write end line, and we can, I think that we can use this statement, but we will just change it a little. But now, just instead of these erasers of element x, we need to it will not be erasers of element x, it will be winner will be instead. Okay, winner, because we found our runner winner, and here will be winner dot get name, and here will be winner dot get time. Okay, just let me, okay, and here where is the display, instead before this while loop we'll just separate the text a little, we will just write one empty string, and now we will need to call this display, after display we will call this winner method, and we will see what we will get. Okay, this should be it. We will see here, maybe we have some errors. Let's build and run this application. Okay, we have a first of 8 for now. Until now I think we don't have, but we will see. Enter runner's name. Okay, we can, our runner will be Usain Bolt. Okay, and now we have 2 of 8. We need to type 7 more, but I don't know runner's name. We can use, okay, we will use, we can use basketball or soccer or football players. Okay, let's Tom Brady, it should be, okay, you already all know Tom Brady. Okay, now we can use Leo Messi. Okay, number 4 will be Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, Gabriel Batistuta, Michael Michael Jordan, I don't know, Javier Zanetti, and one more. Okay, it can be Paul Gasol, and we will see. Okay, let's see what we will have here. Okay, we have Usain Bolt has run 100 meters. Okay, we have a time of all of these players. Okay, this is good. I think this is good. We have a time, and now here is the winner. Okay, and Usain Bolt has run 100 meters in 19.90. Okay, let me see this. Okay, 9.90, 10.50, 11.06, 10.08, 10.33. And okay, here is Javier Zanetti has run 9.91, but this is good. Usain Bolt, of course, Usain Bolt won the race. Who is the fastest? It's Usain Bolt, and I think that this works good. We can just try it again. Let's enter. I usually, this was perfect because I usually want, okay, we type, I have some error and then we need to fix this error. I think this was pretty much good. I'm surprised. It was a surprise for me too. And let's try again. Okay. Now let's. Okay, Leo Messi will be first. Okay, I don't know. Let's type Marco Materazzi. Let's type Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Bogdan Bogdanovic, great Serbian NBA player, and who else? I don't know. Hernan Crespo. Okay, Carlos Valderrama, and did we type Usain Bolt? Okay, we forgot to say. Let's type Usain Bolt. Okay, and we have okay, here is the 8 runners. Okay, as you can see, I forgot to each runner has his own jersey. It is a random number, and here is okay, Leo Messi. And who won the race? Okay, Tom Brady, New England Patriots quarterback, has won. Okay, he ran 100 meters in 10.02 seconds. Let me see, 10.64, 10.57, 10.43, 11.19, 10 point. Okay, here is the Tom Brady, and okay, here is 10.12 Michael Jordan, and this is perfect. This is perfect. Okay, Tom Brady was the fastest. It was 10.02. This is just because this each time in the this loop. Okay, let me show you. This create races. We have this vector of numbers. This vector is each time created inside this while loop, and each time it has 100 new double random numbers. They are not the same, and the sum of these numbers will give us the time of that racer, of that runner. Okay, as you can see, we are entering the name, which will be the name of the runner. Jersey will be also a random number. It will have a number of jersey, and some of this, and it will have also it will have this vector of 100 random double numbers, and we will add this runner into the vector, but it will be created each time. Each time this vector will be created, each time this random integer number will be created, and of course name, we will type the name, and the rest will be random generated. And I just want to show you, if we instead of this get line, I will comment this get line, and we will use just a second. We will use this. We will just input the name. But I just want to show you what will be what we will change. Okay. Enter runner's name. I will type just John. Okay. Second name will be Benny. Okay, this is almost the same. But now I will type Usain Bolt. Okay, 3 of 8, as you can see, and now it has 4 of 8 and 5 of 8. How that? I just type here Usain Bolt as a third player, but we just inputting the name, and when we entering the space, okay, Usain will be runner number 3 and Bolt will be runner number 4. When we use this scene, and we can also input the string, but we can separate it by the space. And because of that, I will show you again. If I type Michael and space Jordan, it will be a 7. If we type, it means if I type, and I don't know. Okay, but if we start from number 1, and if we entering the name with 5 words, it will be generated like 5 runners. It will not be 1 runner. And now, okay, I will just type Tom. Okay, and I don't know, Joe. I don't know. Okay, we will have, as you can see, Usain is a number, okay, and Bolt is separate, Michael is separate, Jordan is separate, and that is the difference between input, and because of this we are using get line. Let me see who is the winner. Okay, Bolt is the winner, but not Usain, just a Bolt with 10.00. Okay, it is the okay, we have 10.04 and 10. Okay, this is the second place. John is the second. 10.00, 10.04. We have 10.05, but this works perfectly. And now I will just I will just comment this. Then I can delete it. We will not use this input. We can just use this input when we have a string with just 1 word, not separated by the space. We will use just get line, and let's try it again. I don't know. Okay, let's type now Michael Jordan, Usain Bolt, Paul Gasol, okay, Leo Messi, I don't know, David Beckham, Zinedine Zidane, Gabriel Batistuta, and okay, we forget, we didn't type. Okay, we can type Javier Zanetti, and as you can see, okay, who won? Okay, David Beckham has won 9.53, and okay, this is the fastest. Okay, this is important. We have our 8 players, their time. As you can see, David Beckham this time was the fastest, and this means that this application works perfectly fine. Okay, and I really hope that you like this. Okay. I really hope I really hope that you like this application. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You have a link in the description, and I will see you in the next tutorial.